I'm really excited about this class. We're going to be talking about why is being metabolically healthy and fit so important? What does that mean? And how can we do that? And there's a lot of different levels we're going to talk about, and a lot of different things you can do to support your metabolic health, which is one of the best ways to really increase your health span and live your whole life healthy and well, not just up until those last, 10 plus years of your life. So, okay, Heather, if you'll take a minute and just share about your experience with all of the testimonials you've been hearing from people just in the last 4 or 5 days since people have started using MetaPower on our team.
You bet. Hi, everybody. I'm Heather Anderson, and I'm going to be helping teach the class tonight, and super excited to share. So those of you that don't know, doTERRA is the most amazing company where everything that is the most pure is going to be found here. They have such high standards, right? So we know this in their essential oils and the depths that they'll go to in science and research to bring us the best. So what's exciting is this new product line, but in the most natural, pure forms with no side effects. I talked with someone earlier today who really wanted to have the benefits of the weight loss that people are already seeing. And she said, but are there any side effects? I said, no, this is completely all natural forms of oils and plants and herbs. And she asked me a second time, and I thought, there must be a lot of things out there that do not have very good ingredients, right? So we were able to get this product after hearing about it for the last 6 weeks and learning about it. We got it in our hands this last week at our doTERRA convention here in Salt Lake City, Utah. So immediately, those of us that had it started to use it. And so I thought, you know what, we had our team meeting last night, and I thought I'll just throw it out there and we'll see who's had any, results in just 2 to 3 days. You guys, our meeting, the first half hour was people that already had results in 2 to 3 days. Like, even my mind was blown. So I woke up the next morning and just continued to have texts on my phone. So we have some of them that we're going to show in the class here in just a little bit, but I'm going to read one of them. That was from my mom. So of course, I know my mom's struggles. She has, I don't know the last time she's ever slept through the night and not been awake a couple hours at night. She wakes up, she can't fall back to sleep. Her brain is thinking. It's like good sleep all night long does not come to her. So this is my mom's text. She says, so, with a lot of O's, for the first time in years and years and years, in caps, I can't even remember when I woke up at 2:30 this morning, went to the bathroom, came back to bed, and wait for it, I fell back to sleep. It usually takes me 2 hours of trying to get back to sleep. So what you're going to find here as we share this tonight is we hear a lot about weight loss because it's such a desired, piece of what this product can do. But you're going to see things from energy to sleeping good through the night, to brain fog and mental clarity. And most exciting is turning back our biological age. I was surprised to hear from 2 people that they said they had felt less anxiousness and better mental clarity. People having support in PCOS or infertility spaces. Now those two are people that have been on it like 30 days. Okay, those last 2. And so what this shows, I think, is the importance of our metabolic health. And we're going to talk a little bit more about what that metabolic health is. And because we know metabolism, and I would always hear, oh, I have a fast metabolism, I have a slow metabolism. And we maybe equate that to people with a fast metabolism are skinny, people with a slow metabolism are not. But there's so much more. And you can see that when we bring the metabolism into balance, and we have healthy blood sugar spikes, we have from one range to another of support and the body beginning to heal itself, right? So that's just been the exciting, fascinating thing for me. So now we're like, what's going to happen over 30 days? What's going to happen over 60 days? What happens when this is what I do and how I live? So if any of you have heard of Tony Robbins, he is a self-help guru, very well known around the entire world. He just wrote a book called Lifespan. And I was reading in that book, it's like 600 pages, and he talks about the upcoming medical advancements. Things are like cutting edge, including stem cells and something called NMN, which we're going to talk about on our call tonight. And that we have in our product, that NMN, is one of those cutting edge things that he says everyone in the future, in these next 10 years, will be using it. Why? Because we're able to slow down the biological aging, right? And what are the signs of aging? Like pain, inflammation, not sleeping well, the mental space and clarity and brain fog and weight gain. So can you even imagine if we're able to turn the clock back and have healing in those areas? It's super exciting.
You know, I have had so much benefit from the Lifelong Vitality Pack and for energy and health, especially brain health. And as starting this new product, it's not really about weight loss for me, it's about health. And I have felt so much of a frequency uplift just being on. I don't know if anybody else has just felt that energy and that mental clarity and wellness that comes with this. And I've just been on the Meta Assist. I haven't, and the oil, I haven't really, I mean, I'm just, because I got this in my convention kit, I'm just kind of breaking into it slowly. It's like Christmas. Every day I pop something out. So this has been a super exciting experience. And my husband, who's sometimes skeptical about new things, he says, I have really been waiting for something like this. He just needed something to help him, you know, take off that edge of his cravings. And so I'm psyched up for this. Bring it on.
Yes, Janet, that was another thing that you just brought up, that across the boards I'm hearing is people not having the cravings. So one of the gals shared, I normally will eat a whole candy bar and sometimes still not be satisfied. I had one bite and I felt like I'm done. I don't want any more. Same thing with buying, you know, a whole sandwich and French fries, had half the sandwich and felt like I'm done. And then it was like, wait a minute, I don't want to waste it, and had some of those, you know, mental things tied to food that happens. But imagine what your day would be like if you were not having the constant cravings, if you felt satiated and fulfilled and good to go at just a little bit or none of the sugar or whatever it might be, right? So I think the cravings thing is going to be a huge game changer for a lot of people. All righty, so I think that this concept of us being able to live longer, healthier is so, so exciting. And the average lifespan, 83 years old. Research shows that last 10 years, you know, a person spends not feeling well. So what can we do to change that? I want to be active. I want to be out doing the things with my grandchildren that bring me joy and fulfillment right up until the end of my life, right? Rather than be stuck in a bed or stuck in a chair. So here are the goals for today in our class. So we're going to definitely talk about metabolism and how to help you to control that, right? We're going to talk about why we need this metabolic health, and across our country, we need support. We're going to show you some statistics and some information here in a minute that you're going to say, whoa, are we really that unhealthy as a country? We're going to talk about, we have a little bit already, the relationship between health span, biological aging, and your metabolic health, and then the tools to slow down that biological aging. Can you imagine if we, like, our skin and our wrinkles are going away and we have more like all the collagen and all the parts in our body that we're like, I'm just so excited, right? So what is preventing you from living your most powerful life? Let's take a look at a couple of these. I would say that as I'm helping people to improve on their health, one of the top things that most people struggle with is energy, lack of energy, right? When we don't have energy, how does that affect the rest of our day? How does that affect our relationships? Weight, for sure. In our country, we have a large percentage of people that are overweight. How about mood? That's a big deal, right? What we got going on in our emotions. Sleep, Again, whether it's hormone imbalance, whether it's just stress, whether it's anxiety, that can impede us having a wonderful night's sleep. When we don't sleep well, that actually can shorten our lifespan. Clarity, goodness gracious, do we have a lot of stuff in our food and a lot of toxins in our products that are causing our brain to be fogged over, right? And then stress, we've kind of mentioned that. We are living in a world right now in this time where for the majority of people, our plates are full and overloaded. We have got, coming out of the pandemic, I have seen an all-time high of stress and issues within families, relationships, finances, right? Got a bit of a recession going on. So these are the things, for the most part, but maybe pick your top two. What would be your top two that are preventing you from living your most powerful life? And these are probably going to be the things that you would want to focus and work on, right? All right, I love this so much. So this is our doTERRA wellness pyramid. And with all of these things, this is what is going to give us, the whole full picture of health. At the very bottom, you're going to see nutrition and digestion. So think of this like Jenga. If you've ever played Jenga, you've got all the blocks stacked up, right? What if you were to go and pull those two bottom pieces out of the bottom? What's going to happen to the rest of the mountain or the tower? It's going to tumble, right? So it's so incredibly important that we have a super solid foundation of nutrition, which affects our digestion. Once we have that, because we are in such a lack in our bodies, in our country right now, which I'll touch on in just a second. Once we have really good nutrition, and then we add in that second rung, which is metabolism, we're talking about that today, right? Those go hand in hand for magic, really. So with our nutrition, I'm just going to slip this in right here really quickly. Here's the thing. Is we, again, in our fast-paced lifestyles, we're eating out a lot, we're eating processed foods a lot. Let's say that's not you. Let's say you're someone who eats a lot of healthy fruits and vegetables. You're very aware of your diet, and you're making efforts daily, right? Here's the unfortunate thing, is that our food is not the same as it has been in years past. So my grandma, when she ate one orange, had nutritional value that is no longer in the oranges we have. I would need to eat 8 to get the same amount of nutrition that she had. Now, there was an article in the New York Times which talked about us farmers over time, thousands, even 10,000 years, breeding the nutrition out of our food. And why? So that they could have higher yield, so that they could have a prettier looking fruit or vegetable and a better tasting. Because the wild apples or the wild fruits, they have a higher content of phytonutrients, which is incredible for our body. They don't taste as good as when it's not in there, those phytonutrients. So the farmers are like, hey, if I could have a prettier fruit and a tastier fruit, we sell more fruit. If I can have higher yield. So there's been this breeding of nutrition out of our food. 95% of Americans are deficient in vitamin D. 95%, you guys. That's almost everyone. We need vitamin D for a good immune system. We need vitamin D for strong bones. We need it for feeling happy, so many things. So when you're lacking in one vitamin, one mineral, it can result in disease. So we're going to share and suggest to you a couple of things that can help in that way of nutrition. So we're going to talk about this new MetaPower, and while it's going to come in and help to balance the metabolism, it doesn't replace nutrition, right? So we do still need both of those. And these are the two places that we're going to give quite a bit of focus to tonight. So what is your metabolic health? This is the body's capability to eat and digest food without having the blood sugar spikes, the blood lipid spikes, the fat in our blood, and being able to have balance in those spaces. So people who are metabolically unhealthy have weight gain, have diabetes. And did you know that 1 in 3 people are pre-diabetic in our country? And 1 in 2 go undiagnosed. And I think that we can go along in our lives not really realizing how much of that blood sugar spiking and bouncing that we really have going on in our bodies, right? So this is an important space that we want to focus on, and that doTERRA knows is an issue across the boards in this country, but in the world. But we got some problems here, right here in this country, right? I'm just pulling up the chat, seeing if I'm missing anything here, guys. Yes, keep your comments coming and the chat rolling. All right, so what are the 5 main pillars of metabolic health? And this is so cool. We got to just at our convention hear Dr. Oslascorp, I'm going to say his, we call him Dr. O because his last name is hard, but he is a nationally renowned infectious disease doctor who left his practice as the chief medical officer at the Children's Hospital here in Utah, and several years back came to doTERRA and is the chief medical officer here. And he is involved in a lot of the research, and he is that heavy, solid medical piece that we love, that we have here in a company that focuses on natural, right? So he shared these with us. These are the 5 pillars that are essential that we need. First of all is healthy living. Healthy eating. We just talked a little bit about that, right? But I want you to still focus on eating good things. Even though the nutrition is not quite there, we still need all that we can get, right? So that's number 1, healthy eating. Number 2 is daily movement. Get out and do something, right? 30 minutes, you're walking, running, whatever it might be. Number 3, healthy connections. This is important. We know after just having gone through a pandemic where we had isolation, did anybody notice the huge impact of having these healthy connections, right? Number 4, stress management, having ways that we can take care of that stress. And if you're not already utilizing your essential oils, your adaptive, your balance, your copaiba for that stress management, please talk to one of us so we can get you those tools, because it's amazing how that can just keep us balanced. Last is smart supplementation. So we talked just a minute ago, we look back here at this slide, that nutrition and digestion.
So metabolic health encompasses all those things. It is not just your blood sugar levels or your insulin levels. It's a combination of all of these different factors. And a recent study just came out in the last year that has shown that in the US, only 6.8% of the US population has optimal cardiometabolic health. That is a really low number, right? So a very small percentage of us are as fit as we should be metabolically, right? And I love, again, that there are solutions. That we've already talked about this, so we're going to be quick here, but that your metabolic health is directly linked to your biological age. So you have your chronological age, and we did talk about this last week, so I'm going to be brief, but just as a brief foundation for those of you that are new joining us, it directly correlates with each other. So the more metabolically healthy you are, the more biologically younger you are. Even though you might be chronologically old, there are people that are in their 60s that are biologically in their 40s when you look at all these different metabolic markers. So that's super exciting. In the US, as you can see, this is health span versus lifespan. And again, this is how many years do the average people in America live a healthy life. We talked about that it's at least 10 years that most people are, living very unwell. And, even though we're extending just a little bit that extended health span, we obviously want to have the graph look like this, right? People that are metabolically healthy, this is actually what the graph looks like. So you can see most of their life, they're spent with a great health span, as well as that full lifespan. And that's what we all want, like Heather talked about. So my slides are not advancing. Lovely. Okay. All right. So this is exciting. This is the new content we're getting into. So thanks again, everyone, for your patience. So the hallmarks of aging begin at 25. This is one of the new discoveries that I really want to drive home and make clear to everyone. So they have discovered that aging is not all of these separate things happening. They used to think that aging was, like your hair starts getting gray and your skin starts getting wrinkly and your joints start getting weak and your muscle mass starts dropping, and that these were all these independent things that were happening in the body, independent and separate of each other. And what they have discovered, that it actually is all rooted in one system and process in the body. And NAD levels are directly related to the system. And I'm just going to stop share for just a minute so I can see you guys a little bit better and explain this one thing, because I think it's really important to understand. When I understood this, I had a whole new appreciation for how significant what we're talking about tonight is, okay? So basically all of our cells start in our body. They're all the same. Did you know that? And your epigenome of your body actually decides which genes in which cells are expressed. So one cell might end up being a skin cell, and one cell might be a heart cell, and one cell might be an eye cell, and all these different cells in our body start with all the same DNA. They all start exactly the same. And then it's called cell differentiation, and they all basically have their own functions, right? What happens as we age, and the one process, oh, can you guys hear me okay? Is it my internet is slow? Are we okay for now? Is it better?
I hear okay.
Okay, it might be your internet if someone's hearing me super slow. So watch the recording and hopefully it'll be better. But the cell differentiation process is important to understand, because as we age, different emergency situations happen to the body. Maybe you get an x-ray, maybe you have a surgery, maybe you're exposed to the sun, and maybe you're eating crappy food, all these things. What happens in those emergency situations is cells will actually leave to go help at a different part of the body. Did you know that? It's kind of crazy. They've just discovered this. And what happens is, as we start aging, because those NAD levels are low, those cells basically are not able to go back to where they came from, and they kind of get coagulated. It's called cell X differentiation. And what that means is, that is essentially the aging process, is cells in our body all start to lose their function because of these dropping NAD levels. And what they've discovered is so significant about NAD is NAD in the body is actually what allows those cells to stay where they are or to get back to where they are, and turns on the genes that make them start functioning properly again. Okay, so if you've ever wondered, if you've ever known somebody that had a surgery and then their hair started going gray right after, that's because they started experiencing more cell X differentiation from that traumatic event to the body. And so this, if you guys can understand the scale of this is the cutting edge of research, you guys. Dr. David Sinclair, he is one of the world's leading experts from Harvard, and he has actually discovered this. And so the whole point of why this matters to you is, it is vitally important that you increase your NAD levels so you can help prevent and repair even. They've discovered that even if your cells have become X differentiated and you're starting to age, NAD can actually help repair that. So let me go back to sharing the slide. I hope that makes sense, and you guys can wrap your brain a little bit about how exciting this is and how important it is that you increase these NAD levels. So let me come back to this slide, because this is exactly what I'm talking about. So at the age of 25, our NAD levels start declining steadily. And as that happens, your metabolic function, the functioning of your all sorts of things throughout the body, right, is declining. And this is what it's meaning here: a molecule critical to metabolic function and DNA integrity. That's what I'm talking about with fixing that cell X differentiation. That's what the NAD does. It helps the cells get back to where they're supposed to be and start functioning how they're supposed to function again. So, but when that does happen, when it's the wrong direction, right, that's when our metabolic function also declines, because all the processes in the body are related to that, to our DNA and our cell integrity. Okay, so why, and here's some other obstacles. So here are some of the things that are leading to metabolic health obstacles. So we talked about the cellular integrity, right? That's what I was just talking about, is those cells starting to not function properly. Other things that are very harmful to our metabolic health and increase aging in the body One is maturing fat cells, and we're going to talk about that. This is really exciting what they've discovered. But obviously, as those fat cells mature and become more and more plump over time, that puts all sorts of stress on our organs, right? It puts all sorts of stress on our bones. It's has a very negative impact on the body. Another one is blood sugar spikes, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that, and then the inferior supplements. So let's talk a little bit first about the inferior supplements. Heather started touching on that. And I just want to highlight, and we've talked a little bit about this before, but I'm going to briefly mention it today because it's a very, very important foundation for the products we're talking about today. If you have nutrient deficiencies, supplementing with what we're going to talk about today is going to be very helpful, but it's not going to fill in your nutrition gaps. It's going to help increase your NAD levels. It's going to help shrink your fat cells. You'll learn about that, but you still need to address your body having all the building blocks to repair. It's very, very important. And so as you can see in the US, almost everyone is deficient in one or more vitamin or mineral. And that's why nutrient deficiencies is one of those core problems and factors in decreasing metabolic health. So lifelong vitality, which I'll go to the next slide and then I'll come back, is one of the things that we always talk about. And I just want to highlight briefly, these 3 supplements are the foundation for everything else in the body, right? You're going to get your essential fatty acids. You're going to get specific CPG oils. You're going to get your longevity blend that feeds your cell mitochondria that helps reduce inflammation. And you're going to get all those nutrients so that your body has all the building blocks to function. So many chronic health issues come from a lack and a deficiency of vitamins, minerals, and all those kinds of things in the body. So let me come back. And the one thing I would just say is if you are taking a supplement, I would just ask you, is it clinically researched? And do they have measurements from blood work? And what I love about lifelong vitality is the answer is yes. Completely clinically researched, double-blind, placebo-controlled trials. And then we've got clinical benefits from blood work that are statistically significant, showing improvements in all of these areas from blood work. So bringing down inflammation, improving your metabolism, improving your hormone levels, improving blood sugar levels. So all these things that affect your metabolic health are also going to be supported by lifelong vitality. So that's a really important foundation. And it's basically going to amplify the results you get from the products we're going to talk about tonight, which is the MetaPower system. So I want you to imagine, like, what would it feel like if you felt your best, if you were healthy, if you had the energy you needed, if you were your most powerful life? That's what we all want, right? And I'm so excited about the resources that are cutting edge that we have here. So excited for you guys to learn. So the MetaPower system, one of the really powerful things that you can do to really have your best life. So let's talk about each of these obstacles. We just talked about the nutritional deficiencies. Let's talk about maturing fat cells. And I tried really hard to pull up the image and I could not get it to work, but I do have another image to show you. So this is what fat cells look like when they are not mature. Okay, see how small they are? Now these are the same fat cells, and this is just a diagram. We actually have real life pictures, and we'll have to share that at a different class because I could not get it to add to the slideshow. But you can see as those fat cells start to mature, they get bigger. So they're the same fat cells, but they're growing, right? And look what happens when they're fully matured, how much bigger those fat cells are, right? So what's so exciting is doTERRA's MetaPower blend. They have done some research on this, and the results have been better than anyone could have expected. They actually have actual images of the fat cells, and they tested a lot of different blends, and they found that the MetaPower blend was the most effective at basically inhibiting or stopping the maturation and maturing of the fat cells. So instead of those fat cells looking like this, when they used the doTERRA MetaPower oil blend, and I just want to point out, it's a different blend than Slim and Sassy. It's the same oils. They've been reformulated because they found it's even more effective. It actually prevents and stops those fat cells from getting to be like this, and it keeps them small, which is what we want, right? The other thing, it also helps curb the cravings, and it also supports your metabolic health by stabilizing your blood sugar levels as well. And we'll talk a little bit more about the assist in a minute because we get some even extra benefits. But the gum is a great way, doing a drop of water, a drop of the MetaPower in your water, using the little beadlets, are all great ways throughout the day. And a lot of people have used the MetaPower blend topically as well with dry brushing to help really affect those fat cells, right? So taking it internally, using it topically, and using the gum. If you don't like the taste, use the soft gel, because it's just that oil in a little soft gel, and you can take it so that you get the benefits, which we see here, without having to taste it. I think it tastes great. I actually really like the gum. And so if you're getting a craving, just consistently using this throughout the day can really make a significant difference, according to the clinical research, in all of these areas, which is really exciting.
Hey, Amy.
So, yes, go ahead.
So if you'll go back to that slide, you're going to start to see all these bottles and you're like, oh my goodness, what was what, right? So let's just make it super simple. So I've got my MetaPower here in my hand, right? And this picture here, you have the oil on the left. Every product, these four are just different delivery systems of this oil. And we'll talk just a little bit more about it, but if you like it in a gum, if you want to taste it in your water, or if you want a soft gel that you don't taste and you just pop it with a drink, right? Or the little beadlet. So as you look at this, this is the same thing in a different delivery system, and we'll break down what it's doing.
I love it. I love it. And we just saw, right, an image. I wish I could have uploaded the actual photos from the actual MetaPower, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to do that. But we do have that, and we'll share that at a later time, because it's really cool to see the actual photos of the actual fat cells treated with MetaPower, and it has been shown to be successful topically and internally. Internally, you're going to see the most impact, but you'll get some benefits topically as well. So, but thank you for highlighting that, Heather. That makes it so much more simple, right? It's all the same oil, just different delivery options for you, depending on your taste. So, okay. So we talked about maturing fat cells. The next one of the very biggest obstacles to our metabolic health is blood sugar spikes. And I'm going to give you an example here. So everybody recognize this, right? This is your dashboard in your car. Now, if you are constantly accelerating and constantly putting on the brakes, what happens, right? Your brakes are getting worn out. Your transmission, like your car, over time, if you're doing this multiple times a day in your vehicle, you're taking years off of the functioning of your car, right? The exact same thing is true in our bodies. Spiking our blood sugar through, and what the research has shown, even diet drinks, and most people will still spike your blood sugar just because that taste of sweet actually is what causes insulin to be released, and the blood sugar can spike, even if there's not any calories in your food. So, but it's that sweet taste, also simple carbohydrates. So white breads, things that don't have a lot of fiber, all of those things are things that you're putting in your body that are causing this really big blood sugar spike. Now, what's important to understand, let me go back, I'll stay here, is that over time, this does damage on so many levels. But this is one of the biggest causes of, they're linking it with dementia and saying that it's very, very related and causing dementia over time. Type 2 diabetes, right? So many people in America are type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. Huge amount, right? Like a third at least, and then many more that are pre-diabetic. And then you've just also PCOS, cancers, they've also linked with this problem of the blood sugar spikes in the body having to produce too much insulin. Did you guys know that insulin actually causes the body to store fat? It prevents your body from pulling from your fat stores, and it actually sends your body the signal to store the fat. So it's turning what you're eating into fat when you're causing that insulin spike. So we, of course, want to avoid this happening, this putting on the gas and putting on the brakes, or causing those blood sugar spikes as much as we possibly can. And in fact, doing that is one of the ways that it allows our body to heal, and it allows the insulin in the cells to take in insulin better by having a break from not having to constantly be taking an insulin like it does when we're constantly having those blood sugar spikes from our diet. But guess what? Stress can also cause that. And so that's why we talked about at the beginning. Remember, it's not just your diet. learning to manage your stress in a healthy way is another very, very important part of having a healthy metabolism and having healthy insulin and blood sugar levels. So enter MetaPower Assist. And this is a product that the research has been really exciting. I'll pull up a slide here in a minute showing you one of the studies that they did on this. But what they did is they took the doTERRA MetaPower blend and they added some extra ingredients to it that in research have been shown to make a huge difference in decreasing that blood sugar spike. Okay, some people are calling this a carb blocker. It's not actually a carb blocker. Our body needs carbohydrates and our body is still able to use carbohydrates when we use this product. But basically in layman's terms, we talked about this last week, it basically allows your body to respond to simple carbs like sugar, white flour, just anything, you know, processed food or all simple carbohydrates, drinks, sodas, juices, all those things, right? It allows your body to respond to those kinds of foods in the way that it would respond to a complex carbohydrate. So having something whole grain, having something that has more fiber, right? Because it prevents that blood sugar spike from happening because of the ingredients in the MetaPower. It's basically the mulberry leaf actually binds to the glucose and it prevents the simple carbohydrates from doing that and making your blood sugar spike. So you probably don't understand all that, and that's okay. But what you need to know is the benefit, right? So the benefit is if you will take this with your biggest meal of the day, a meal where you might be eating carbs, you might be eating sugar. I encourage you, the more that you can cut out sugar, the better, but none of us are perfect, right? So if you can eat this with a meal where you're going to have probably a blood sugar spike, this is going to help reduce it dramatically. And I'll show you the research here in a minute. So it reduces the absorption of the simple carbohydrates. And that just means in terms of the blood sugar response. So it's going to decrease that glucose spike. It's going to support those healthy blood sugar responses. And it's also going to stabilize your energy throughout the day. Because what happens when you have the roller coaster or the constant on and off with the brakes and the gas, right? It really drains you. You have a crash after your body has produced a lot of blood sugar, had a blood sugar spike. Right after that, you have a big crash and you feel a lot of lack of energy. And so this really helps to stabilize your energy throughout the day. Let me show you the, let me exit because I have the other, there we go. I wanted to show you the study. Okay, so this was the MetaPower Assist study that they did. And they had the group, they actually used the same people in the group as their own control, meaning half of the time they were taking a placebo and half the time they were taking the MetaPower Assist so that we can differentiate it. We can prove causality, right? We can show that it's not the placebo effect, but we can show that it's actually making a difference. It's not just in their mind, because that's a real thing, right? Our minds are powerful. And so you can see here, this time period when they were taking the placebo, their blood sugar levels on average were 101. And look, an 11% decrease of their blood sugar levels over time using the MetaPower Assist. That is huge, you guys. This is a very, very significant decrease in blood sugar levels. And this is like a continual thing, right? It's not like it just was the one time they ate the meal. So really exciting, the research, and more research is continuing to be done. But so far from what we've seen, it's extremely effective. And that would explain why we're seeing such great results for people with weight loss. Because again, if we can help the body not produce all that insulin, that's going to allow our bodies to actually reduce and use up our fat stores and allow the body to reduce the weight, but doing it in a way that's more sustainable. And it's actually getting at the root of the problem, right? So let me come back to the present this here.
Amy.
Okay. Yes, go ahead.
I'd love to share something that I just recently learned. I know so many people have family members with dementia, Alzheimer's, and they're calling dementia, Alzheimer's, I guess more Alzheimer's, type 3 diabetes. Yeah. And you would think, what do they have to do with each other? Like, how is this, right? Well, let me tell you how this works. I watched a nurse who was sharing a recent study. There is an enzyme that is supposed to be able to go into the brain to break down this specific type of plaque. But this enzyme, when we have lots of insulin coming into the body, it takes over this enzyme. And so it's constantly working with the insulin, and it can't like get up to the brain to break down this plaque. And so that is why we end up having dementia and Alzheimer's, because the natural process of that enzyme going up and cleaning that area, which is supposed to do, we're messing it up with our crazy diets and our massive blood sugar and insulin spikes. And here's another fascinating thing, is that our insulin does not just spike when we have food, also when we are under stress, when we don't get good sleep, we can have these spikes, right? So for us to be able to get this under control, are you seeing, like, whether it's PCOS, whether it's weight, whether this is like the master space that we've got to rein in, get control, get healthy, and then all of a sudden things can work the way that they're supposed to. So I just thought that with the Alzheimer's and understanding that connection was just like, wow, right?
That is just so eye-opening, Heather. I'm so glad you shared that. That's amazing. So, and I think I love that you brought that out, because like for me, I'm a healthy weight, but I want to be proactive and prevent that from happening, right? We know it's most likely that if I don't do extra things to like really watch my health, I'll end up like most of America. We're sick my last 10 years of life on tons of medications. I'm likely to develop dementia if I reach age 80 or higher. I just think this is so huge in the area of not only managing the issues we have right now, but being preventative so that we're there for our grandkids and our great grandkids. And we live a life that's just full of vitality and wellness, and we can serve and give more because we're well and we've taken care of our bodies. So thank you for bringing that out. I love it. Okay. So here is the doTERRA MetaPower system. I'm so excited. So these are all designed to work synergistically with your lifelong vitality, which we already talked about. But as you can see here, we talked about the assist, which is the one you're going to want to take with your biggest meal of the day. And then you're also going to use your MetaPower, your gum, your oil, your B-list, whichever ones you want to use throughout the day. And one thing I want to point out is I was just reading a study where they found that using NMN, which is the product I'm going to talk about next, with intermittent fasting was one of the most it really amplified the effectiveness of the NMN and gave people even greater results. And that's because it's also helping stop the insulin from being produced, right? It's helping stop the glucose spikes. And it's allowing the body to actually pull from the fat stores and repair and recycle things it doesn't need. There are things that happen in the fasted state that don't happen anywhere else. So it's a great way to really amplify your results. And a lot of people who have had results so far have also chosen to incorporate that tool as well. And it's been really exciting to see. It's not something you have to do, but it's just going to amplify what you're doing if you choose according to the research. So let me talk about the MetaPower advantage. And
can I say something real quick about
yes,
this before you move on? So
yeah,
if you're someone like me who's going to be a super user, because I am not a healthy weight right now, you're going to want to use the assist with all of your meals, not just your biggest meal of the day. So if you're looking to do it for weight loss specifically, and not just for the other, just regular blood sugar balancing, you're going to want to take it a little more often and plan for that when you're purchasing what you need.
I love it, Annette. And what she means by super user too, I mean, if you're 6 feet tall, just like if you go to the doctor, they're going to dose anything based on your weight, your body mass, all those things, your height. And so if you're, like she said, if you have those health goals to lose more weight, if you're super tall, if you're a larger person, you may want to use 2 doses of advantage, or you may want to do, like she said, the assist with each of your meals. So great point. Thank you for highlighting that, because that is, again, it's all about what your goals are, right? What are you wanting to do? For me, I'm going to be great doing one with dinner. But if you're wanting to really see some shifts in weight and things like that, definitely do it with every meal, because then you're going to keep those blood sugar levels even more stable and have even less insulin produced. And that's one of the key things we want to do, right, to be able to lose weight. So, okay, here's the next obstacle, which is the cellular integrity. And we talked a lot about how this is, according to recent science in the last 5 years, they've discovered that this is one of the key causes of aging. And the exciting thing is NAD in the body is one of the key ways to actually fix and repair this. And the way that we can increase NAD is a few different things that I'm going to teach you about that are in the Advantage supplement. So it's not just about looking good, right? But it's feeling good. It's being healthy from the inside out. And so here is the MetaPower Advantage. I'm so excited about this. I feel like all the products are super exciting, but this one is very, very unique and very groundbreaking with the ingredients that are in it. So let me tell you a little bit about what is actually in the MetaPower. They did a clinical trial, and it was only 2 weeks, but they found, oh, that's actually, let me go forward one more slide. Okay, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I thought that I had that slide in there, but I didn't. So I'll just tell you, I just looked at it this afternoon. So they found that after 1 week, you guys, of taking MetaPower Advantage, that people's NAD levels increased by 20%. After 2 weeks of taking MetaPower Advantage, their NAD levels had increased by 25%. Now, why is that important? Because NAD is the crucial molecule that's able to go in and help repair all that damage and prevent all of that root of aging, right? And then keep our body functioning as a whole in all of our systems, right? Our hair, our skin, our eyes, our joints, our muscles, all those things. It's going to help them be much, much healthier and much younger biologically. So what else makes MetaPower unique? Let me show you some of the ingredients, but first, let me talk a little bit more about the benefits. So not only is it going to help increase that health span, right, and improve your biological age, it's going to improve your cognitive function. Heather talked about at the beginning, so many people noticing mental clarity, better mood, feeling happier because of how much it's supporting your brain and the NAD in the body. It's going to also support your lean muscle, your connective tissues, so joints, your eyesight. There's some really cool studies that have been done that have shown some really amazing improvements, not just from the NMN, which NMN is one of those key nutrients that, and it's a natural source of NMN. You can get NMN out there that is synthetic, but doTERRA, we don't do synthetic, right? We're always going to do it naturally, because guess what? Based on all the track record of other supplements, typically over time, when it's synthetic, it will cause other side effects in addition to the benefits. Whereas when it's natural, our bodies know what to do with it, and you don't typically have those side effects from the synthetics that you do. You know, you don't want to have that with, you would not have that with the natural. So, and then lastly is skin elasticity and firmness. And that comes from collagen. So Heather, I'm going to share a little bit, and I'd love for you to add on, but this is really, really important. I'm just going to share briefly about this, because collagen, I bet everybody on this call has heard of collagen, right? Probably a lot of you are taking collagen right now. And there's a lot of crucial things that you need to know about collagen, okay? One is the sourcing, okay? Most collagens only have a couple types of collagen. We talked about that last week, but a lot of them are sourced from bovine sources. And the problem with that is a lot of times it's full of glyphosate, because those cows are eating food that has been sprayed with glyphosate, and they have hormone pumps in their ears, and there's a lot of chemicals in those cows. And so when they're using the collagen from the cows, we also get those chemicals in the collagen. So what is so unique about our collagen is it is actually marine sourced, sustainably sourced from cold water marine fish in Italy, and it is toxicity tested. It is tested for heavy metals so that we can guarantee you're not getting any extra things in there that you don't want. So many other collagens in the market, when they have done testing, they have detected glyphosate, which glyphosate, you guys, if you don't know what that is, at very microscopic levels, it is super toxic to the body. It does all sorts of damage to your hormones, to lots of things you just do not want happening in the body. And so it's really important that ours has been tested so that we can guarantee you don't have those toxins, you don't have any heavy metals, which is often a problem when we're sourcing something marine sourced. And that's really, really key. The other thing that I here is it's 12 times more bioavailable. And the reason that is, if you're taking a collagen, look at the back, and if it says hydrolyzed collagen peptides, that is not what you want. You want tripeptides, because the tripeptides are broken down even more, and they're much more usable by the body, and they also do exactly what you want them to do. Those collagens that you take, when they are tripeptides, they're going to go and help each of the areas where we want that collagen to go. If it is not a tripeptide, if it's just regular I can't say the word now. Anyway, it's just regular collagen. Your body, if it needs energy, if it needs something else, it actually will use it for that instead of breaking it down and using it for what that collagen was intended for. Isn't that interesting? And so it's really important that you get tripeptides. And because of that, it's 12 times more bioavailable and usable in the body than your regular collagen. Lastly is it's activated by you. And what that means is that your body is the one that you activate it with the water. And that activates it. You don't have to worry about it breaking down and not being, you just don't have to worry about it being broken down to where it's not at the same level of potency anymore. And a lot of times when things are already activated and they're already shipped and produced in liquid form, over time, that all starts to deteriorate, break down, and you're not getting nearly the benefits. So it's formed in a way that it's, you mix it with water so it's fresh right when you drink it. You do not want to add hot water. That will damage some of the collagen. Just have it at, room temperature. Cold water is great, just not hot boiling water. And you get so many more benefits. So there's a QR code that you can take a picture of and utilize to learn even more. But Heather, take it away if you want to talk more about the collagen. I don't know if she's where she can hear me. I'll keep talking and Heather just chime in, okay?
Sorry.
Yeah, there you go. You're good.
Muted. Yeah, sorry, I was muted. There's a slide forward that shows all the ingredients of this product.
Yeah.
So the thing to know here is that we're calling this collagen, but really this is like superpower, next level, above and beyond with collagen, because there's nothing out there on the market like this right now. So we have 12 ingredients, and it is more bioavailable or absorbed into the body by 12 times. So you'll find a product that's just collagen and maybe one other ingredient. And people get results because we need collagen in the body. So this is way more that you're getting. So we just want to take a look at this. We've heard that the MetaPower oil, so I'm just going to hold it here again. This is balanced to go into the body and help with the blood sugar and the fat cells. We heard that, but we have got this blend in with the collagen powder. So that's amazing, right? Just that blend that has been studied to be this perfect balance to have benefits in the body. Now let's look at the resveratrol. This is an incredible ingredient. If you just go and Google this, you'll find that it is going to protect the cell. And what online said was from Alzheimer's, cancer, and diabetes. I'm interested in this. This is what is in wine. And the reason that people will say, wine is healthy. And I think wine has got 1% resveratrol, and this was up in the 40s, 42, 40-ish% in this product. That's pretty significant, right? So to be able to take collagen into the body, you need to have some vitamin C with it. So
hey, Heather, before you talk about the vitamin C, I was just going to add, clinical trials have shown in studies that the resveratrol increases the effectiveness of the NMN. So that's another reason, and I'll show you one of the study links here in a minute, but I love that they were so careful in combining things that are just increasing the effectiveness. And I know you're about to talk about that with the liposomal vitamin C, but it also is really crucial with the NMN to have that resveratrol to get more results from it.
Yes.
To increase the NAD even more, which is what we want, right? That's the thing that's getting at the root of the aging process.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So in order for our body to take in and synthesize the collagen, you've got to have vitamin C. So of course, doTERRA didn't get just any vitamin C, and there's synthetic ones out there. There's all sorts of just not good stuff. We have the best kind of vitamin C you can get, which is the liposomal vitamin C that's got some of those fats that can help to actually take it into the body, right? We talked about it being absorbed better. Here's one of those reasons right here is this liposomal vitamin C. Now, in just other beauty type products and skin hair products, you've maybe heard of biotin, the hyaluronic acid that are helping in those areas. We've got them here, right? But the stars of the show are over here on the left. Amy's been saying a lot of these like sciencey things and letters and names and processes. And we're like, what you need to know is that this is what helps you to feel younger and all the things that come with it. I heard one guy say he got to take it only for 5 days, 4 or 5 days. And he said, I haven't felt like this since I was 20. That's right here, right? What our body used to make that declines over time, we give it those things again, and it's youthful, and we're getting all the benefits of that. Of course, we have the marine collagen, we have these other antioxidants. So what you need to know is that this product alone is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So we just do 1 little sachet a day in our water. And I think we're going to get to how we take it here in just a second. So
Yeah.
that kind of wraps up the suite of products with the Meta Powder.
I love it. And you can see here just the difference too with just the collagen as well, all the different types. I love the price comparison, Heather. Like, I thought this was so cool to see what you would be spending if you were going online or going to your health food store and buying just some of the ingredients that are in the Meta Power, on average $314, and you're able to get it for $84.50. And we'll talk about later, you can actually get it for $65 plus. If you have a loyalty order and you're getting 10 or up to 30% back, you're getting it for like $48 or something. Like, it is insane how cheap you're able to get it for on your loyalty order, and what a great value it is compared to going and buying and trying to buy these things yourself, and the simplicity, and you're not even getting all the ingredients, right? These are just some of the things that are in it. So I love the value and the savings. It really, really is. I feel like doTERRA knocked it out of the ballpark with making this at an affordable price point where more people can benefit from it, but it's just so powerful and exciting, the difference. So, hey, those are all of our health obstacles that we talked about. And I want to show you guys some before and afters, okay? This is Dr. Ashley Anderson. She actually has a video that she did, but these are her before and after pictures. She did the Meta Power. Do you remember, Heather, was it 60 days? Was she in the 60-day group?
She had showed just her 30-day results.
Okay.
These are the 30-day.
30-day results. Okay, so you can see her before and afters, and she did do the full system. She had been working out before. She talked about how she had been struggling to get under 200 pounds for for years, she said. Actually, she finally was able to do it with the Meta Power. And there's, again, after 30 days, and you can totally see a difference in her chin there, her arms, her stomach. I mean, super exciting. Here's some of the studies I just wanted. Yeah, go ahead.
She lost 14 pounds in 30 days. So
thank you for bringing that out. Yep. 14 pounds, and you can totally even see the difference. The biggest thing she talked about was how much the mental clarity really she noticed. She's a doctor, she's a single mom with 2 kids, and she just said, I felt so much more on my game. My mind felt clear, alert, good. Like, she just was really excited about the mental benefits. But of course, she was super excited about finally making some progress in her health goals, which she had been working on for a long time and just kind of been stuck where she wasn't making very much progress. So she was super, super excited. You can go to nmn.com if you'd like to learn more. But here's just a few different ones of, like, I don't know, it's a great resource. They talked about inflammatory bowel disease, in eyesight, some of these got put on here twice. I'm so sorry. We were trying to throw this together. Decreasing fat levels in the blood. So really cool. There's just more and more research that's being done, and they're finding so many things on basically almost every level of your health with the NADH and the NMN especially, which are both in the Meta Power Advantage. So super excited about this whole system. Of course, you're going to get the most results when you're using it together. And what I love, we'll show you in a little bit, doTERRA is making it so easy for you to be able to afford this, because they're giving you options on a loyalty order to add things on for a really significant discount. So I'm super excited about that. But Heather, do you want to talk about the usage and kind of that plan, and we'll wrap it up?
Yep, you got it. We're just right here at the end, guys. So if you feel overwhelmed, or you're like, oh my goodness, here's the exciting thing, is you don't have to do a research project on this. You don't have to remember the letters and the numbers and the whats. All we have to know is that doTERRA has done the research. They have the science, they have the doctors, they understand the body, and they have brought us this most beautiful, perfect thing that we just have to put it in our mouths and take it and be able to enjoy the benefits. So we want to keep clear on how are we going to use this. I know several of you have these products right now in your hand, like myself, from convention, and so you're already starting on them or want to. And then some of you, they'll be coming right in October. So number one, first step is you want to add the oil in one of these delivery systems throughout your day. So the MetaPower soft gels, all this is the oil in a soft gel. There's 90 in here, so there is enough for me to take 3 a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. And that's typically when we're eating, right? And it's coming in and helping with the fat cells and with the blood sugar. And it's simple. I just pop it in my mouth and swallow it. Maybe I don't have this with me and I don't have my exact beadlets, but they come in a little teeny bottle like this. And it's the tiniest little teeny bead. And so keeping this in a pocket, in your glove box, briefcase, in your purse. So like if you happen to be out and you happen to get snacky or you end up running through the drive-through and that's what you have with you, you can just pop a couple of those in your mouth because it's going to go in as you're eating and help to just manage all the things that we've talked about tonight. So I like the beadlets for just kind of like on the go in my pocket, just fast grab. The gum. Can I tell you how much I love the gum? So
yeah, I was just going to add, Heather, a lot of people really have loved utilizing these two to help them with fasting, to like not be hungry and not have cravings as well. So just another idea of how you can use it if you're not doing it with a meal. You also can use it to make your fasting easier if that's something you're wanting to incorporate for weight loss and added longevity.
Yes, cutting down the cravings, right? So here is a piece of the gum. A lot of times when you have a natural type gum, it goes hard. It's not great in the mouth for very long. This is so lovely, you guys. It chews and is soft for hours. So if I'm getting snacky or wanting, I just pop one of those. It's got a drop of the MetaPower in there. It's got natural sweeteners. I think it's xylitol. Yes, xylitol, which is actually great for your teeth. And it's soft, but it's keeping my jaw busy. I'm burning a little bit of calories as I'm doing that. And so this is something like instead of reaching for the chips or reaching for the whatever, like pop a gum. So this is a favorite and I will always have this on hand, right? So that's step one. Step two is your assist. And it's kind of a little bottle. Look at him. He's kind of a cute little guy. There is enough in here for 1 a day. And this, let me show you what this looks like. They look completely different. So this is just like a capsule, right? This one is the one you want to take with your biggest meal that's most carby. So for a lot of us, that's going to be dinner, right? You might be a little bit different. Annette was saying, if you want to have more weight loss, then you might want to take some more of these at other meals as well. So you might need an extra bottle. Let me go back and show you. So here's the soft gel. You can't mix them up. Soft gel just has the MetaPower oil, the assist that has got, herbs and other things in there. Berberine, that is just for my biggest meals, right? So are you with me? Like 2 to 3 a day, and then the assist, you've got 1 a day. So that's
Heather, just to kind of remember the difference between, just think the soft gel, like the oil, is shrinking your fat cells and helping with cravings. And then the assist is balancing that blood sugar and slowing the way your body absorbs carbohydrates. So if you're wondering, like, what are the differences, that even though they all say MetaPower, just kind of remember they all have different purposes. So that's the difference between those two.
Yeah. So real quick, before I talk about this, I'm going to bounce back to the oil real quick. So I'm going to suggest trying this in water or with your collagen packet and just taste what it tastes like. It's quite pepperminty. It's refreshing. It's got some ginger and cinnamon. So if you like it like that, that could be an added way that you're getting the MetaPower into your body. If you're like, no thanks, don't love it, well, guess what you can do? You can get our empty capsules. They're just like $4. And you can make your own soft gel if you run low on this, right? So that's an option. Or like Amy mentioned earlier, this is great to use on your skin, all up in them fat cells. Use your dry brush and create some magic topically as well. So that gives you a couple of ideas. Yeah,
and
go ahead.
You use that between meals, right? That's the thing. You don't So the assist is with meals, and the MetaPower oil is between meals.
Yep.
It's after your meal. So on the bottle of the assist, it tells you to take it 15 to 30 minutes before you eat, before your biggest meal, or if you're losing weight, do it with all your meals. But then the oil itself is your between meal aid. Okay.
Yeah. If you guys have questions so far, throw them in the chat. We have several people that can answer them as we go. If you're like, wait, what? Hopefully this is just breaking up. There's three things, right? The oil deliveries, the assist, and our souped up, not Yo Mama's collagen packet. Okay. So here we have number 3. You can do just 1 sachet a day, shake it up in your shaker bottle. If you want to be a super user, or you are taller or have more weight to lose, you can do 2 a day. So that's easy. And you want to do this in the morning because this does create energy. So if you're taking it later afternoon or night, then you might not sleep, and that's not what we want, right? So yeah, that's our amazing collagen.
I've been so excited to hear how many people are sleeping better though. So that's been super encouraging. Like I've known multiple people already that have tried it, that they have really, really noticed that. But I'll also note it doesn't mix very well with a fork. So you will need to use a shaker or like a little frother or something to have it mix more easily. Because if you're trying a fork, it is not going to mix very well, or it's just a spoon. So use a shaker bottle or use a frother, and it's going to be super easy.
And it needs to be room temperature or cold. Don't put it in the hot beverage, because I can't remember why they told us that, but it was specifically.
Yeah, some of the ingredients are sensitive to heat, and so they won't be as effective. They'll start to break down with the heat. So you don't want to use it with hot water. Great, bringing that out.
Something that I'm noticing in people's before and afters is typically when you diet, it is hard to lose the fat in that stomach area. And consistently, the before and afters I've seen, now there's only this one group of people that got a 30-day supply before everyone else. So here's her 30-day, and she lost 8 pounds. But I'm loving the first picture in the left. It might be small on your phones, you have to zoom in. Her skin just seems like clearer, brighter, right? And she's not wearing makeup in either one of those. I am loving the chin gibbler. I have some chin gibbler here that I want to get rid of. So I love that that is trimmed down, but look at her stomach. Look at her middle. Again, like this is a tough place to lose weight. So she lost 8 pounds, but look at the difference just visually what, 8 pounds can do. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Amazing. Cool. Well, and here's just some ideas of other things that, again, are going to amplify and support you in your goals. I love how simple the greens, the fiber are. I love to use those. So I'm making healthy choices for my lunch. And what does it look like getting started? So if Heather, do you want to talk about this actually?
Yes. Okay. So 2 things, guys. If you already have your doTERRA membership, the most exciting thing ever is you're getting all of this at wholesale cost, right? There's people that are going to come to our website that don't know any better and pay full price. You guys are getting 25% off. Now, the MetaPower is not available until October. Probably it's going to be the second week by the time you can get your actual hands on it and get it in your mouth. So if you are brand new and you don't have your doTERRA membership yet, we want to help you get started, start your body, get in that foundation of nutrition, right? Like that's that first rung that's so important. And then your MetaPower can come next month and you'll have both of those so solid. So this is the very best place we suggest starting. This gets you a free membership so you can log in and order wholesale. You're seeing the Lifelong Vitality Pack, those 3 bottles that are going to give you your nutrition, 12 servings of fermented greens, all that goodness, right? You're going to start to see some changes in your body for the better just with these 3 bottles. The white bottles, these are your gut health. And you might say gut health, I think my gut's okay. Did you know that hormone imbalance goes back to gut health? Did you know, oh, maybe somebody else is touching the screen. There's all sorts of black boxes now. I think it's your cursor, Amy, somehow is making the black box.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Just kind of covering it up. But while you figure that out, back to the gut health, your immune system, 70% is right there with the gut health. If you have an autoimmune disease, you have issues with gut health, right? So mental wellness, depression, gut health. So right here, you're going to find the foundation of nutrition, your gut health, our amazing deep blue rub for aches, pains, muscles, bruises, growing pains, all of that. And then you're going to get to start out with 5 of our incredible essential oils. You'll have an oil for detoxing daily. You'll have something for immune boosting daily. You'll have stress and just grounding with these two here, and our frankincense, king of oils, amazing for skin and just cellular health. So this right here is $195 with the free membership. So simple to get started right now, and then be ready to add that next layer for your metabolism. Here's the exciting thing. When you have your own account, you are able to opt into our loyalty program. So not only can you get the collagen at wholesale cost, which is $84, you can get a $19 discount when you're buying the vitamins, right? You're buying the Lifelong Vitality Pack. It's like, oh, hey, we love you for being our customer. So why don't you go ahead and choose 3 of these things at a killer discount? So again, you can get the, see right there, the advantage for $64, you guys, 19 off. So this is the way to go. Get your account now so that next month you're able to roll with it and get the discounts, right? Actually, you guys, hold on. I checked earlier. That addition into your loyalty rewards is available in November. Getting single items like, oh, I just want the collagen, that will be November, right? But right now, you cannot get MetaPower. So that's why we want to start with our vitamins. In October, you will be able to order the whole suite of products. It's $179 and you'll get all of it. And then in November, you can pick and choose or do the whole thing again. So does that help to know when and how you guys can get some things? So we actually have a survey we want to throw in the chat. If you're new, it's your first time, you're here, we really want to, we have a lot of people here. We want to be able to help you, answer questions, get you whatever is your next best step. Whether that's helping you get an account, whether that's helping you with getting your MetaPower and your order set up. So let us know. Annette just put that survey in the chat. Just click on it. It's going to ask you.
There are 2 different ones. There was one, if you already have an account, there's a different survey for you. So existing customer one, that's the one you want to click on. If you already have an account, we're going to do a giveaway and we'll be announcing that on our team page of a sample of the MetaPower Advantage. So you want to fill out the survey so you can get your hands on that very soon, shipping to your house. You'll get a really cute little sachet that has a few days worth of samples and all sorts of great info about it. And if you're new, fill out the one that's for the new one, you know, not the existing customer one. Sorry, Heather, just want to make sure everybody was clear on that. Yeah, so please take a minute and fill that out right now. Click on the link. It's really short. And take a minute and fill that out while we're answering questions, because I know we went a little bit long, but lots of good information. I hope you feel so excited. I'm just so excited to really make a shift in America, in our health. And we have millions of members of doTERRA. And I just think this is really going to cause a big shift in our health and our wellness and just helping our bodies be so much better supported, even though we aren't in the very best, healthiest environment or eating the best food all of the time. Hopefully we'll be doing it more. Randy and Claudia, you guys had a question. Go ahead, Claudia. Can you unmute? You're muted, Claudia, sorry. And feel free to just raise your hand or unmute if there's any questions we can help with, or pop it in the chat and we'll watch that too.
Okay, I think someone answered me on the chat. I was just wondering if you would take the collagen while you're in your fasting phase of the intermittent fasting, or if you wait till you eat.
No, you can do it while in your fasted phase. It hardly has any sweetness to it. It's just a little tiny bit. But yeah, you can take that in the fasted state, and that's great. Great question. I would recommend morning and afternoon. If you're doing a super user like me, I'll be taking it just in the afternoon, probably with my lunch to around 11 or 12. But yeah, you can take it in the fasted state and it shouldn't disrupt your fasting. So great question. Oh, and one thing I would encourage you guys to do before we go to any more questions, we are going to do a challenge with you guys. And we're going to be doing tons of giveaways there. We're going to give you more information. We're going to give you chances to share your experiences, your testimonials. We want to see before and afters. So starting on October 10th, so we're going to give you time. On October 1st, you can order that package of the MetaPower, right? You can get all those things at a really great price. And we will be posting the link to the challenge. It'll be a Facebook group. We'll have a gift for participating. Everybody will get an ebook, and then we'll be doing a giveaway every single week And we'll also be doing a giveaway of the full MetaPower Advantage package. You'll be entered if you finish the challenge with us. It'll be a 30-day challenge where we're just kind of be going through it together. We're all going to be using our assist, using our advantage, and kind of supporting each other, cheering each other on, sharing how we're feeling. I'm really excited. You guys know it can be hard to be consistent when you're implementing something new. So our goal with this challenge is to help you feel supported, to help you feel a part of a community where we're all working towards better health together. So we'll be sharing more information. Watch for that on our customer page. If you're not on our Facebook group, just message your wellness advocate, and they can give you the details of that and have you join. But there's going to be great giveaways. It's going to be a ton of fun. So we're excited for that. And again, make sure you filled out that survey so you can get on the drawing for tonight to get your very own Advantage sample packet in the mail to start using. So super excited.
Amy, I want to be in the challenge Facebook group just so I can see everyone's like progress before and afters. Like, I just think it sounds fun, and to just do it together. And one thought that I had is like, I have talked with people with cancer and other major diseases that makes their life miserable. And when given something that can help them, they say, I just don't like to take pills. And I'm like, okay, but you love the surgery, you love the XYZ, right? So sometimes it's a brain shift to just say, I don't love pills, but I love the results from swallowing this one thing, right? And just kind of shift and give it a full solid 30 days so you can really, really feel. But the exciting thing is most people are feeling results in 4 to 5 days, if not sooner. That's shocking. So.
And half the system is not pills. So if you don't like swallowing them, that's great. Like, you can use your Advantage, you can use your oil or your beadlets. There are a lot of options that are not pill options too. So I love that. The challenge Facebook group, we don't have the link to that yet. So you will see that within the next week on our it's called our Essential Oil Enthusiast Wellness Community. You'll see that on our Facebook group. So watch for that. Oh, good. Amanda's sharing that she's had a way that's helped her to take pills by putting water in her mouth first. Awesome. I love it. I hope, again, don't be overwhelmed, but I hope you got those big key takeaways, right? Of what is going to help managing your blood sugar, help your body renew and get at the root of aging, help you have just all those outcomes that are going to help you reach your goals and become your best self. So we're so grateful. We're so excited to be on this journey with you. And we cannot wait to help you guys together to really improve, to feel better and be our best selves so we can bless more people and live our best lives. So have a great night, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
See you. Have a good night.